Hey guys, I wanted to introduce you to Norby. Ivan, you asked me to show you guys the cat. So this is my not very bright cat, Norby. My good friend calls him Bojangles though, because he's got a little bit of a bell going on right there. Um, he's a good kitty, very sweet, but also not very bright. The other day, there is a pantry right back there, and he got locked in the pantry. Now, it wasn't because we closed the door or anything. In fact, the door was actually open just a little bit, and I could see him, but he was freaking out because he couldn't figure out how to get out of the open pantry. So not the brightest kitty in the world. So yesterday I did talk to you guys about what are you going to do to improve yourself? What are you going to do to, what are you going to learn right now while you have the time to kind of enjoy things and try new things? And I told you that one of my things that I really wanted to work on was cooking. And so my plan yesterday was to make calzones. However, as many of you know, there's not much left at the stores. So instead, I had to change course and I made like a stir fry beef with snow peas and cashews. And it was really, really good. I was really happy with how it turned out. But just like when you're learning something, sometimes things are not perfect. So I decided actually to take notes or write on the recipe to make sure that the next time I try it, it ended up better. So what I did is one of the things I realized was that the rice cooked faster than the actual recipe itself. So I wrote start rice before you start cooking. The other thing I realized, it was actually a spicy recipe. For me, that's fine. I like the spicy. But if I were to cook it for my son, I would probably want to put fewer red pepper flakes in there. So I did write that in there too. So as you're learning things, it's not always going to be perfect this first time, but it's a good idea to, figure out what you can do to make it better and check and make it better over time. The second thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was that right now there's a lot of interesting information out there. You have social media, you have a lot of memes, you have a lot of information. Not all of it is good information. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is think about what we've learned in class when we've talked about good sources versus bad sources, primary sources versus secondary sources. There's a lot of primary source information coming from Riverside County Health or Office of Health, I think they're called, that you can get information about this virus and about the things that are happening and about what the expectations are. There's also a lot of not so great sources out there. So as you're trying to find information, try to find primary sources, try to find good sources that are accurate, especially if you're going to be sharing them with other people. Okay. The third thing I wanted to share with you guys is the thing I'm going to leave you with, which is the other link I'm going to put up here is a map of the world. Now, we've seen it before in my class, and it's a bunch of different continents and a bunch of different countries that you can basically type the names of, pull them down to the equator and see how they compare in size. So I'm going to put the link there so you guys can play with it. I think it might be interesting to look at, especially since you know that there's an outbreak going on in Italy. There's an outbreak going on in Iran. Obviously, the United States has it. There's a lot of other countries. Kenya just recently got their first case. And of course, you have China. So you guys can see where these countries are, but also see how big they are, because Italy is actually very close in size to California. So when you think about an outbreak across Italy, it sounds like, oh my gosh, such a big country. Well, it's like the same size as California. So yeah, it is pretty big. And yeah, that is a pretty big deal. So take a look at that, play with it, and think about, again, the sources you're looking at as you find information about this virus and about what's being done in the county, what's done in the state, and what's done in our country about the situation. Also, again, make sure you are being safe, make sure you are staying healthy, and make sure that you are staying sane as well as we go through this and deal with this together. I will see you guys later. I look forward to seeing you guys whenever I can. And have a good day. Bye.